What's up, what's happening, and welcome back in to another episode of the Uptempo Podcast. Like always, I'm your host, Blake Lane, and tonight we have a very special guest coming on by the name of Dustin Smith. He is coming on to talk about some Auburn Tigers baseball. We're going to jump into this regional. Auburn getting a host site as the 14th overall seed in the NCAA tournament, and we are going to break down this regional, and we're going to see what Auburn's got and see if they can move to the Supers. They're matched up with the 3 seed Oregon State. So we are excited, and we're going to try to hop right in here and get Dustin in here. But first, we're going to kick it over here to Belly Up Sports Network, show them their love, and we appreciate them each and every episode for allowing us to be on their platform. And, hey, I'm not going to make you guys wait any longer. We're going to try to get Dustin in here right now and get this thing going. So here you go.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name. And we're still here.
Welcome back in, everybody, and tonight we are joined by a very special guest by the name of Dustin Smith, and we are here to break down some Auburn Tigers baseball. Dustin, man, how you doing tonight?
I'm feeling good, brother. Happy to talk to you. We got a big regional coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we do, man. Hey, we got to pack out Plainsman Park. And got to be loud and proud. Got 3 really good teams coming in with Southeast Louisiana, Florida State, and UCLA, man.
Absolutely. You know we're going to end up playing the Seminoles in a regional one way or the other, right?
Yeah, that I know they're pitching, man. They got 2 studs over there. They don't really scare me offensively, but they're pitching, man. Their pitching kind of scares me the way that we've been hitting here lately.
Yeah, I mean, the bats seem like they've gone cold, but hopefully all that energy in the park will it only takes one, right? It only takes one inning to, ball in the gap, and the guys get rolling, and they're all hot again. So I think we're going to be fine, man. I'm honestly, this is kind of the time of year where it's like I'm really worried about the Hayden Mullins injury and stuff like that. We're going to need a big outing from Carson Skipper this weekend. Do we have the depth in the bullpen and in the rotation to go deep? That's kind of my main concern.
Yeah, Dustin, man, and that's one of the first questions I kind of wanted to ask you was, how does Butch set up this rotation going into this weekend, and who starts Friday?
Well, we talked about how it was a rough week last week with the Kentucky series, and then obviously you turn around and lose to him again first game of the conference tournament. So if I was Butch, and he knows a lot more than me, but if I was Butch, I would start Gonzo. I'd go with Gonzalez first outing, and because he's just been our most consistent guy, right?
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and get that win that first night, so that way the fans are coming back Saturday. They're excited. There's that energy in the ballpark, and everybody's feeling good. I think this team needs a win. I think he's our most reliable starter. And then if you get that win, that's where you really have to question kind of, how do we balance this? And we're going to need somebody to step up, right? Somebody like Trace is going to have to step up, and those guys in the bullpens are going to have to be reliable.
Yeah, man. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at that game too. I think it's going to be Florida State. And is it Trace Bright? Is it Mason Barnett? Do they come back with a Carson Skipper? I mean, what do you think? What do you think they do in a game 2?
Me personally, I feel like right now, Trace has the better stuff. Trace is the better between him and Barnett, right?
Yep.
But I just, I was at the game on A-Day where, Trace just had a real bad outing, and he seems to be hit or miss this year. You're either going to get good Trace or bad Trace. And hopefully, like I said, we know he's got good stuff, and maybe he can work it out. The postseason is the perfect time to get going. But I would go with Barnett, honestly, and then I would tell Trace, hey, man, we need a big outing. But then again, maybe you go with Carson in that second game. If you've got a win under your belt, maybe you go with Carson, and then you just say, hey, we need the bullpen guys to bring us home. We need 4 or 5 good innings out of Carson. It'll be really, really interesting, man. But, the good thing is you've got 2 guys on that bench that really know pitching, and Bush and Tim Hudson.
Yeah, man, and Dustin, one thing that kind of worried me at the end of the season, man, is when they started kind of tinkering with the lineup. And I know they were looking to protect Sonny and everything, and they put Rambush behind him. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Do you think do you think they go back to the old lineup and they move Case and Howell back to the 2-hole this weekend?
I hope they do, because it just the results, right? It
Yeah.
seemed to, the lineups that you mentioned seem to work better. I agree with you on that. Just it was working fine, and let's leave it where it was. Maybe they were just kind of, like you said, tinkering with stuff, trying to find something different. I'm not sure, but I would go back to what you know works, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, and I just feel like everything was flowing so well. Rambush with the lead off, and then you had Howell in the 2-hole, and Sonny D there in the 3, and I mean, it felt like they were. I mean, in my opinion, it felt like they were one of the best offenses in the country, man. And you can go back and listen to some of my recaps on here, and I always say Auburn's got a chance because they got a puncher's chance because they can hit with anybody. And these last couple weeks, it's just been like, hey, the pitching's been there, but we just can't hit. And so I kind of want to see things go back to the way they were. I want to see things go back to the way they were starting Friday.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's kind of the frustrating part too, right? Is that you've been hitting all year, and then right here at the end of the season, the pitching gets right, and all of a sudden the bats go cold. It's like, come on, we need to link this up, guys. But now's the time, man. I mean, if you look at the beginning of the season, and you would have said, hey, you guys want to host a regional? We would have said, hell yeah. So, that's where we're at, and just now's the time to step up. I mean, you can. One swing of the bat, one good outing out of the bullpen, anything, like you can make yourself a name for yourself. And look at David Ross. We all remember that home run. So This is your moment. This is your time to do it.
Well, Dustin, man, I want to ask you, two big guys that we talked about earlier before we started recording, man, is Brooks Carlson and Sonny D. How big of an addition has these two guys been, and how has Butch Thompson attacked the transfer portal?
Well, it's been huge, and like me and you were talking about, and I think it's important for everybody to remember, and this will even go into a little bit of a Coach Harsin deal with football. One thing to remember about recruiting, the transfer portal and everything, is that Auburn's biggest pitch is getting kids on campus and selling the atmosphere, selling the campus. You look at any person that's ever committed to Auburn in any sport, that's how you get a guy like Jabari Smith. They say, hey, I came to the campus, I fell in love with the people, I fell in love with the atmosphere, this place is awesome, it feels like family.
Yep.
Everyone uses that word, family. When you have COVID restrictions and kids can't come to your campus and you can't do face-to-face meetings and these kind of things, your whole selling point is gone. And I feel like now with the addition of Tim Hudson, and now that those restrictions are lifted, you're going to have momentum. You were a 14 seed. We're a national seed. We competed well. We're hosting. So coming into this off season, we're going to have all the momentum in the world, and now we're back into a regular recruiting situation. I give Butch a lot of credit for being able to go in there and get a guy like Sonny, and obviously the guy got SEC Co-Player of the Year, so he saw something, and then he elevated his game even more, which speaks to Butch's ability and his staff's ability to develop. So with some restrictions, to be able to go in there and get those guys that have contributed the way that they have, I think it's huge, and it makes me really excited for what they'll be able to do this summer. Yeah,
man, I'm excited. I think Auburn baseball is headed into the right direction. A huge Butch Thompson fan, man. I get on Twitter sometimes and I see some folks that down him and everything, and I'm just like, I mean, we could be so much worse. We could go back to the Sonny Galloway years,
Please no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. But one thing I do want to get back to, Dustin, is man, Mason Land out in left field. I forgot to ask you this. And I know they said that Cole Foster could come back for this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Mason Land, man, in my opinion, and I want yours, does Auburn need to throw Brooks Carlson back out into left? And does Farquhar stay at second and Cole Foster just DH? Or what do you think, man? Because in my opinion, Mason Land just isn't getting it done right now.
Yeah, he's not. I think if if Cole's ready to go, then the emergence of Bobby Pierce definitely give you some options there. So hopefully Cole's ready to go, and I like your idea there. Just let's keep Farquhar in the field and put put him in DH and do what you got to do there, because I agree with you. And then if you get in a situation this weekend where you have to bring Lamb off the bench, and maybe he gets one good hit and then he's feeling good about himself. So I kind of like your idea with that one there. If you have the bodies and you're able to, put better bats in the lineup, you're going to have to do it, because right now the bats they've gone cold, and it's kind of because you had such an early exit in the SEC tournament, you haven't played, you haven't played in a week, so you feel like you're going to be a little bit rusty and cold with that in there as well. So I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, man, and we did a little NCAA tournament breakdown last night on YouTube. Me and my co-host Dalton Garrett. He is I enjoyed that. Yeah, man, he's a huge Florida fan, and we were talking. I said, man, Farquhar, I know he's a 230, 235 hitter right now, but he's really the only one that's hitting for real. I mean, he up there in Lexington in that series, he had a couple big hits, and then the one game in the SEC tournament, he had a hit, and he makes stuff happen. And in my opinion, man, there's no way you can just pull him out of the lineup right now.
No, I agree. It's an upperclassman too, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of one of them deals where it's like, okay, this guy's got experience, and that matters right now. It does. These are big moments, and they can talk all that stuff about blocking out the pressure and blah, 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 but it's a lot harder to do that than to say it, especially, 19, 20 years old. You have a guy that's been there before, a senior like that. Let's keep those guys in there. And like you said, he's doing good right now. I mean, you can look at the average overall, but I like where he's at right now. And that's if he's up to bat in a big situation, I trust him.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's where I sit on it, and I hope Butch, like you said earlier, he knows a lot more than we do, but I would really like to see that lineup coming in there Friday. But man, Dustin, the next thing I want to ask you here is, how big is this for Auburn baseball, hosting a regional, the first time since 2010? We know the exciting moment that happened in 2010 with Creed hitting the home run and everything against Clemson. I mean, how big is this for the fans, and is Auburn baseball finally starting to get some recognition?
I hope so. I hope it is. I was worried after the way the season ended that maybe we had fallen out. So I was really excited. I was actually at a Pensacola Wahoos game, where I live, the AA affiliate for the Marlins, and that came on. Me and my family saw it. We were excited because we were actually sitting there talking at the time, like, man, I just think we fell out. I think we dropped the ball. I think it's huge, man. There was an emphasis before the season from the staff, the program, the AD, Butch. You could tell he was kind of putting emphasis on it, like, hey, we want more people to come out to the games. We're going to do better marketing. We're going to do better branding the baseball program. And I think they've done a good job. As the season's gone on, I've seen the interaction and social media on the baseball pages go up and up and up. And that's a good thing. And this is a good thing, too. When we dropped to Kentucky, especially in the SEC tournament, people on Twitter were upset. And in my opinion, where baseball is at right now, that's a good thing. It's because that shows passion. That shows that people care, and that you had set some expectations for yourself. People expected better from you. So I think that's a good thing. And I just like where we sit with everything, with all our programs. Yeah. Bruce Pearl said it, everything's cool. And me personally, this is a discussion for another day. I don't think football is that far off. But everything else seems to be trending in the right direction. And, man, if we could find a way to win this regional and get out, that's really gonna boost it. It would be a great time for the fans. I'm sure there's going to be some people that are there this weekend that it's their first time. Yeah. So get that win, show them a great atmosphere. And let's come back next year, with this baseball program really ready to roll. And we've seen it. We've seen Butch just in 2019 make a run, so there's no reason why this team can't.
And, Dustin, man, talking about that run in 2019 and all those people on Twitter who were upset with the way that we lost against Kentucky right there in the SEC tournament, man. I told a guy on Twitter, I said, hey, if you just flip back to 2019, go back on YouTube and look at how we lost to LSU in the SEC tournament. You talking about a heartbreaker? I mean, this team, he said, no, they're done, man. Stick a fork in Auburn baseball. Their season's over. And I said, okay, well, just go back and watch the clip, all right? And they went into Georgia Tech in Atlanta, and we know the Stephen Williams, the home run and everything, and then they went up to Chapel Hill and just absolutely just tore North Carolina up, man.
Yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful game 3.
Yeah, man, and I tell people, hey, things got bad towards the end. There was some tough losses, but I look back at that 2019 season and even the 2018 season, man, the ball going off Stevens' glove and down there in Gainesville, and that's just pure heartbreak, man.
Right.
But I said on a previous episode on here, man, don't give up on them. Don't give up on them because it's baseball. It's a weird sport, and things happen, man. You're going to lose tough games, but you're in the postseason now, and everybody's, they're 0-0 now. So I definitely think Auburn can make a run. And I wanted to ask you, do you ultimately think that they get out of this regional?
I do. My prediction is that. And I'm just going off the history here because, man, in college sports especially, it seems to repeat itself.
Yeah.
I think we're going to come down to Sunday. I think we'll have a loss eventually because if I would feel a lot better if we had a healthy Hayden Mullins, but
yes.
We just don't. So I feel like we're going to take a loss somewhere in the regional, like. UCLA is a solid team. This is a solid regional.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like as long as we handle business Friday night, we should be fine Friday night, and then we'll see how it goes from there. But I feel like we're going to come into Sunday. We're going to be playing Florida State, and I feel like we get it done. I feel like the crowd at Plainsman Park is just going to be the boost because when you look, if Florida State is 6-13 on the road, let me double check that. Yeah, they're 6-13 on the road. Southeast Louisiana is 7-19 on the road, and it's pretty hard to get UCLA stats. Their website is something to navigate, but
yeah.
These are teams that are not good on the road. So I just feel like that overall, that atmosphere is going to power us. And I'm looking at a guy like Kason Howell, a guy that would played a part in that 2019 run, and his senior leadership and guys like him. I think he's going to have big hits, and wherever he is in the outfield, that he's going to make every play. He's not going to miss nothing out there, man. So guys like that, guys like Sonny, guys like Farquhar, and hopefully Cole Foster can get back in there, Rambo. I just expect a big weekend, man. It's really up to the bullpen. Some of those guys step up. If we got a 2-run lead like we did there Friday night in Tennessee, you guys got to hold it down. Now's the time. So that's kind of where my biggest thing is. I feel like the bats wake up midway through Friday night. I feel like they will. I feel like we'll get a home run. Sonny will hit one over the fence or something with some guys on base, and everything will be good to go. So for me, it's all about that bullpen, man. But I feel like ultimately we beat Florida State on Sunday, and I think both teams will have a loss because it's a solid regional. I don't think anyone's going to come out of it without a loss. I think both teams will have a loss. It'll be winner take all, and I think we come out on top.
Love that, man, and I agree with you 100% there, Dustin. I definitely think it's going to come down to a deciding game, and both teams are going to have a loss. But I ultimately think we get to Corvallis. Well, if they get past Vanderbilt, that's a tough region there too. But man, Dustin, I wanted to ask you, and I talked a little bit earlier about the little YouTube video that we did last night, and I wanted to get your thoughts on Tennessee, man. Do you like Tennessee to win the College World Series, or are you taking the field?
Well, I'll say this. I watched that today, your podcast last night, and I agree with you on 100% on your sentiment on Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's and it's one of those things where I'm not an anti-bat flip guy or an anti-celebrating in baseball guy. Yeah. I'm kind of on both of it. Like, I understand the unwritten rules, and I understand the guy flipping his bat. Like, man, you just hit a home run, celebrate. So I'm on both. I'm just about fun. If a guy has a problem with it and it starts a little drama, to me, that makes the game better. Yeah. Like, I'm good for all that kind of stuff, man. It's like in hockey, right? People get in a fight. People don't like it. Well, everyone at the game standing up yelling.
Yeah.
The fans seem to love it. So to me, that stuff's good for the game. I definitely came back that Sunday ready to watch that game, right? After that Saturday night drama between Auburn and Tennessee. I was definitely, screw Tennessee and all this kind of stuff. So I agree with you 100%. And I'll say this. I don't like them, but I don't like Georgia and Alabama in football either. And they're the best, man. It's hard to – when you look at that lineup, I mean, it just seems like everybody's got double-digit home runs, no matter who they bring up to the plate. And when we played on that weekend, man, I was just amazed at all these guys' averages, and then they bring this guy out the bullpen, and his ERA is just crazy, and he's throwing 105 or whatever. Yeah. They're nuts. But my hope is, on paper, right, they should totally win it. The hope is that the way they've behaved, the way they've conducted themselves all year is hopefully it'll come back to bite them. And in my experience in a lifetime of playing sports and being involved in sports, being around them, 9 times out of 10, man, that's actually what happens.
Yeah.
The team that shows its ass, it ends up coming back to bite them, man. It really does. It comes back and gets them. So I'm hoping that's the case here. I am. And it's just because it's fun. Like, I don't really hate Tennessee or whatever, but it's fun to not like them. I don't really like the way they get down. It seems like they can't take it.
Yeah.
If they owned it, that would be my thing with it, right? If they 100%. Did it and they owned it like a Dale Earnhardt, put you in the wall, whatever, then there's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can say if they own it. It's like, all right, man, well, they beat us and they let us know about it, whatever. But they can't take it. And that's the part that gets me. It's like, dude, well, that bat bounced over there. Bobby didn't take that bat and throw it into your dugout. And for you to pick it back up and throw it and cause a whole scene. Yep. If you go back and watch that video, they got some guys standing right there beside their head coach that are all bowed up, flexing like they're going to go over there and really do something. And it's like, okay, man, like, you guys are soldiers just following your general. I see what this is. This is a trickle-down effect. And I'm not really impressed with the way that they conduct themselves or behave. And it makes me proud to have a guy like Butch Thompson as our coach.
I agree 1,000%, man. And that's what I was trying to say last night was I could never see Butch Thompson teaching Auburn baseball players to act that way or conduct themselves that way. And, like you said, the bat flipping and everything, I'm cool with that. Grow the game of baseball. All the little kids are out there playing wiffle ball, bat flipping and everything. But, Sunday in the SEC Tournament Championship, they hit the home run in the 9th, and he's walking down the line holding the bat up. And it's just like, don't show somebody up, man. That's the thing in baseball. You don't show people up, and that's the problem I have with them. And hey, they're talented. They're probably going to win the College World Series.
It looks that way.
It does, but like you said, I like this Auburn team, man, and something about this Auburn team. I think Auburn could make a trip to the College World Series, just like in 2019. And I'm looking at Corvallis, and I think Vandy could possibly upset them, and Auburn that would be wild for them to, host a super regional. But I think there's a chance Auburn can get to Omaha, man. What do you think?
Well, there's definitely the chance when we play our best baseball. I mean, we can play with anybody, and it's kind of one of the things. It's an Auburn thing. It seems like. A lot of times we just let those opportunities slip through, but we should have won that series in Tennessee, excuse me.
Yes.
And if we can go down the line with that really and say we had this game right here, we had this right here. We just kind of gave it away. When we play our best, man, I think we're hard to beat.
That's
and
a fact.
As far as we've just played great at home this year, we really have. We're 22-9 at home.
Yep.
And so that makes me feel pretty confident about where we're at this weekend. And I like the amount. We're an older team, so we have a lot of guys that have been there, that have done that are not going to be rattled by the pressure. So it really comes down to, in my opinion, it comes down to guys like I said previously, Skipper. It comes down to a guy like Allsap. Burkhalter, man, when you guys come out that bullpen with that lead, you've got to be on. You've got to be on. You've got to make it happen. You can't put us in bad situations when our bats give you the lead in that 7th or 8th inning. You got to come in and shut it down, and we got to depend on you. Or if we're down a run or two, obviously you got to hold it down so we can hang around in the game, because Sonny D comes up to bat, baby, and you never know. I mean, we're in the lead all of a sudden, or Bobby Pierce or whoever. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of guys that are clutch and can come through. I just to me, it's key for I think we should throw Gonzo Friday night. You get a great outing. Maybe he goes 7-8 deep. You don't have to use a lot of arms, and I think you're all set. Man. And then, once you get to the super regional, it's kind of from there. It's just kind of like, okay, man, you're 2 games away. I mean, you just got to play 2 good games, and you're not going to play anybody harder than what you had to deal with in Knoxville. So just be that team, and you're going to be fine. So the potential's there. I definitely believe in these guys. You look at for the difference last year between close run games and this year, how much we've improved and got better in these close game situations. So they've got heart too. They never give up. And I mean, I'm an Auburn Tiger, man, so I'm always going to believe in them.
That's a fact, Dustin, man. I love that breakdown right there from you. And Dustin, winding down, man, the last thing I want to ask you, I know you mentioned that you were from Pensacola. You lived down there in Pensacola. I'm from Mobile, man. And the Pensacola Wahoos, did you ever get to check out Edward Cabrera?
No, I haven't, man. I go sparingly. I make more Auburn baseball games, honestly, with you. And we have a semi-pro hockey team here, the Ice Flyers. So I go to a lot of their games. I'm a big hockey guy. My Lightning are actually fighting right now. Yeah,
you're a Tampa guy, right?
Yeah, I'm all Tampa sports because I was born in Brewton, Alabama.
Okay.
And joint custody kind of thing with my parents, so I spent a lot of time in Brewton. I spent a lot of time in Pensacola.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to claim one town or the other. I'm kind of from both. But but living in Pensacola, you always get the Lightning games, the Rays games. They always come on your TV for free. So I just kind of naturally went to the Tampa teams. It's been a good time these last couple of years for all the Tampa sports teams, that's for sure.
That's awesome, man.
I did catch Billy Hamilton. I did catch Billy Hamilton several times at Wahoo's Park.
Oh yeah, man. I was asking you that because Edward Cabrera, he got his start out in Colorado today, and he absolutely shoved, man. He had like 8 Ks through 4 innings. He was throwing a no through 6 or through 5 and a third or something like that. And I know he got to pitch over there at Wahoo's Park a couple times, man. So I was just interested there.
I'm hoping that my Rays draft Sonny right, and then he'll have to go through Montgomery because they play in the Southern League, so I can go out there and catch Sonny sometimes.
Yeah, man, that would be special. The Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees. I know I follow the New York Yankees a good bit, man. I had Gary Sheffield Jr. on here to talk some Yankees baseball the other day, and that's one hell of a division over there. So I enjoy watching that AL East, and it's going to be a battle, man, all the way down to the end.
Yeah, you already know. That's just going to be – I mean, I feel like the Yankees got it this year. Yeah. I was very proud of the Rays for being able to split that series this weekend, but, man, that lineup, and then every time I throw a pitcher, I'm looking at his ERA like, goodness gracious. So hopefully my Rays can get in that wild card and then just make some noise, and you never know. I mean, it's a long, long season.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Dustin, man. Well, hey, I want to ask you, like I ask all my guests when they come on, man, if I could, maybe we could get you back on here, and after this regional, we could recap it, and what do you think about that?
Oh, anytime you need to talk Auburn, man, I'm down for it.
That's awesome, man. Well, Dustin, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming on. Enjoyed it, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Stay in touch. War Eagle, brother.
War Eagle, man. Wow, everybody, Dustin Smith on here to talk some Auburn baseball. Broke it down, what we think is going to happen this weekend. A big weekend, huge weekend. Can't wait. Set up your plans right now, man, to get to Plainsman Park. It's going to be electric. It is going to be absolutely electric. It's been since 2010, man. Auburn fans, this is what we've been waiting on. football, basketball, and now baseball, man. You know, like Dustin said, he thinks that all three sports are set up to do great things. Football's not that far off. I agree. For all you haters out there who think otherwise, I'm sorry, but I think football is setting up nicely. And this weekend with baseball, we saw what the basketball team did, about to have the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft, and now the baseball team hosting a regional. Could they go back to Omaha for the second time in 4 years, 3 years? You know, I mean, it's crazy to think about. You know, I mean, a lot of big things happening at Auburn and the sports. You know, I mean, we got a freaking Olympic medalist on the gymnastics team. I mean, there's just so much going on the Plains, man. So get up there, support the baseball team, and we're excited. So can't wait to recap this. Hopefully we can get Dustin back on after the regionals. Hopefully we can talk about a super regional. Hopefully we can go up to Corvallis, Oregon to play Oregon State, or hopefully, you know, Vanderbilt can pull an upset. We'll find out this weekend. So with that being said, I'm wrapping this one up and going to put a bow on it. And hey, like I end every episode, War Damn Eagle, and I'll catch you on the next one.